Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks and I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade vanilla extract using an electric pressure cooker. Today I've got Pampered Chef's quick cooker here, and I'm so excited to make this recipe for the first time with you today. So if you have ever purchased vanilla extract at a grocery store, then you know that it's not a cheap extract to purchase, and the price of vanilla extract has gone up a whole lot over the last couple of years, and so I wanted to see if I could make my own homemade vanilla extract and save some money. So what I did was to prepare for this is I ordered a package of vanilla beans, and I ordered these on Amazon. You can see here on the cutting board I've got about 8 or 10 vanilla beans, and if you don't know what a vanilla bean looks like, here's one that I haven't split or anything. I'm going to show you what I've already done and then show you how to make the homemade vanilla extract. So let's talk first about Pampered Chef's quick cooker. So if you haven't watched one of my videos about this yet, or if you are not familiar at all with an electric pressure cooker, I want to start off with that before I show you how to make the vanilla. So here's our electric pressure cooker, and this is called a quick cooker. It has 16 settings, and you just turn the dial to choose the setting that you would like. I recently used this to make yogurt, it turned out really good. I was very impressed with the results from that. And then earlier today I made elderberry syrup, and if you haven't checked out that video, you definitely want to go back and watch it. It's a really quick and easy way to save money making your own homemade elderberry syrup. So the quick cooker is really easy to operate, and to take the lid off, you're just going to twist the handle and pick the lid right up. There's a seal on the inside, and you want to make sure before you use this that you always check to make sure that the seal is pressed all the way into the lid so that you can get up to pressure when you start the pressure cooker. On the other side, you're going to see that there is a little red pressure indicator button. When this button is popped up like it is right now, I'm pushing it up from the bottom, that just means that the pressure cooker is under pressure and you don't want to try to take the lid off. It's a safety feature, and when it pops down, then the pressure will be released and you'll be able to open the pressure cooker and safely open the pressure cooker. So another thing about our lid is you'll notice that this is the pressure release button, and this is where the steam actually escapes from it. I've got a little bit of condensation on this button. I'm just going to wipe that off before we start and stick this back on there. If you ever start your pressure cooker with the steam valve open, it's not going to come to pressure. So if you're waiting and you can't figure out why your pressure cooker is not coming to pressure, just make sure that this button is released, and so that the steam valve is going to be flush with the handle. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make homemade vanilla extract. So before we get started, I would love to know who's watching live, and I'd love to hear from those of you that are replay viewers. So just comment below if you're watching live, and if you're a replay viewer, let me know that you're a replay viewer and where you're watching from. We're going to start off with some bourbon. You can choose to use vodka. There was all this discussion with people that I've talked to about making this vanilla. Should I use vodka? Should I use bourbon? And I really like the Madagascar vanilla beans, and they're a bourbon vanilla bean, and so I decided to go with bourbon. Maybe the next time I'll use vodka. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by just pouring this bourbon right into our quick cooker. This is 1.75 liters. We're going to use the whole bottle. You may notice on the counter I've got a little bit in our mixing bowl, and I'll tell you why in just a second. I got this at Shopwise in Forest Park. You can go by there and see my friend Jenny. If you're in that area, and if you're here in Carroll County, then you can just go by Cheers and get your bourbon or your vodka there to make this. So all of these beans here in this pile have already been scraped. So I'll zoom in so that you guys can kind of see what these look like up close. They're kind of dried looking, but all I did was I split them and I scraped the vanilla beans out. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and pour these or drop them right into the pressure cooker. So I'm going to keep my camera down here so you can see what I'm doing. So this bean I already split, but I haven't scraped it. So I used Pampered Chef's paring knife. This is one of our forged cutlery pieces. I don't know if you guys can see all of those vanilla beans, but if you've ever had vanilla bean ice cream before, the little black specks are the vanilla beans, and that's what's inside of here. So you're going to take the back of your knife and you're just going to scrape across. And you see all the vanilla beans are stuck to the knife. And so what I did before I started this video was I just scraped the knife and added it to the a little bit of the bourbon that I have in the mixing bowl here. I'm going to put this bean into the quick cooker, and then I'm going to show you guys how to split this. You want to try to not go all the way through, just because then you'll end up with two separate pieces. It just makes it easier to scrape when you just go through one layer of the bean. And then I'm just kind of going across and opening it a little bit more because I want to make sure I get as much of the bean out of here as I can. Then you're going to take the back of the knife and you just lay it kind of, you want to kind of open up that bean, lay it on the back side of the knife onto that open pod, and you just scrape out the vanilla bean. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually really easy to do. So I bought these beans on Amazon. Remember, I'm going to go ahead and toss these in with the bourbon. And for this one, what I want to do is I want to just scrape down any of those beans. You don't want to waste them, so that's why I actually I went ahead and put a little bit of the bourbon in this bowl so that I could make sure not to waste any of those beans. I have a tiny bit on my spatula here, so I'm just going to sort of rinse that off in the bourbon. It's a very simple recipe to make. I'm going to turn this so I'm facing it. Put the lid on it. You just set it right on the top, give it a twist, and I'm going to set this to custom, so that's high pressure, and we're going to change the custom and time. I'm going to increase this to 60 minutes. And then press start. So after an hour has passed, this will be ready to depressurize. Now it's going to take 10 to 12 minutes for this to actually come to pressure, so the 60-minute time is not going to start until it's already built up pressure on the inside. So like I said before, you always want to make sure that your steam release button is up and that the valve is down so that it's going to seal. When the red indicator button pops up, it's going to let us know that it's under pressure, and that's when the 60 minutes is going to start. So it's going to count down from 60 minutes. When it's done, it will beep to let me know. There are two options when using a quick cooker with how to release the steam. You can do it manually, or you can let it naturally release. For this particular recipe, you should let it naturally release, which could take over an hour for this to take place. So for this recipe, you can just set it to go and just kind of walk away from it. You don't need to really worry about it. After it's completely all depressurized, and that little pin will drop down. What you're going to do is you're going to pour it into whatever bottle you're going to serve it from or store it in. I'm just going to use this bottle. So what I'll do is I will wash this and sterilize this, and I'll take the beans out of the quick cooker and I'll just drop them down into the bottle. Then you're just going to put a funnel into the bottle and pour right into the liquor bottle, and then you don't have to buy another bottle to store your vanilla in. I did take out the I'm not even sure what these are called. This just makes it a slower pour, but you can put this back in. If you're going to be pouring the vanilla from here, it will make it a slower pour, and then you can put the lid right back on, and you can store this. You want to store it in a dark place, like in a cabinet is probably the best place for it. I don't think that you want to put this in the fridge or in the freezer. And there you have it. You'll have a big bottle of vanilla. The vanilla beans cost, let me actually check. I think they were about $24. I'll just pull that up really quick and tell you guys how much it was. So the vanilla beans, I bought them on Amazon, and they were, let's see. Oh, it says currently unavailable. I believe they were $23 or $24, somewhere in that price range. So while there is upfront cost in this, I mean, if you are someone who bakes, this vanilla is going to last a really long time. You can use this in all sorts of recipes. So I will post the ingredients or the instructions for how you can make this yourself in Pampered Chef's Quick Cooker. And if you have any questions, let me know. But I appreciate you joining me today. Have a great one.